What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Balanced Perception YouTube channel. And today we're doing an awesome episode featuring Blastoise's shell. That's right, one of the OG Pokemon. Without further ado, let's get into it. So as I said, today we're going to be working on finishing painting everything from my brand new item that's coming to the store. It's Blastoise's shell. It's very similar to Bowsette's shell, which is in the store, except that it's Blastoise. So far, the only pieces we have are these three, which are the actual cannons, and the back piece, which goes on with magnets, which I will be gluing those in place and, you know, strapping down after we get everything painted. But these are the only pieces we have, and that's because the actual shell is printed in one massive piece that takes 5.5 days to print on my CR10S5. I only use that printer again for extremely large, you know, prints that I don't feel like breaking down and putting onto my other printers because it's too much to glue together. I don't want to do it that way, and yeah, I just like when everything is one piece and it's much simpler. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. It's literally just finishing up. I will show you guys everything. We're gonna pry it off of the print bed, bring it over here, and then get to work on it. So here you guys can see the CR10S5 still, you know, chugging along, still doing its thing. One of the best printers I definitely have. This print came out very well. Again, it was a 5-day print. So yeah, let's just take that into consideration. It took a while and I had to do a filament swap. I hate doing filament swap in the middle of prints because things can go wrong, but it all went well, and you know, fingers crossed it'll just stay that way when I pull it here off the bed. Well, let's see if I can get it off. Yep, there we go. It pops right off. So all my settings were good. Slowly but surely. As you can see, I used blue plastic tape. Well, let me get this off so you guys can hear me. There we go. I used blue plastic tape for adhesion. I don't like glue sticks, so I've always been using the blue plastic tape. Here we have the actual shell. It is pretty large. You guys can see the opening here with the tree support filaments on the inside, and it's hollow in there. I mean, it came out very well. So let's bring it back to the table and check it out. So I've gotten everything off the bed. I've gotten all the supports broken off. We will have to do a little bit of sanding, but overall it came out extremely well. As you can hear, it's completely hollow. So you can actually cram things inside of here. That was my entire plan. And eventually I plan to probably make a model that I can actually use to shoot water out of. That's not this particular model, but eventually I will make one of those. And you can see that this piece right here is going to use magnets to connect to that part right there. And then the blasters will go in here. Well, eventually they'll go in here. I don't even know how I got them, how I managed to do them. Maybe this is the left side. Let's see. Yep, that's what I think it is. Anyways, yes, it will go in there like so, and on the other side. So the next thing that we actually have to do is go ahead, sand down any rough edges. Again, I don't plan to sand this entire thing. This is more so the prototype, and I just want to see how everything looks. We're going to tape off the insides here because that's going to remain white, but everything else on the back is going to become that, you know, brown that is very characteristic of Blastoise. We're going to go ahead and paint these in a little bit different color gray, which I probably could just use these, you know, straight off the printer. They're definitely, you know, smooth enough and they look well enough, but I'm probably gonna go ahead and hit them with a little bit of gray spray paint also to give it a much better finish. So let's head over to the garage.
Alright, so I moved out to the garage. You can just see I'm using my triangular sander to get a few of the high spots down. Nothing too fancy going on here. And then switching over to our brown spray paint, we got the base coat on. I put a few layers on afterwards. And then of course using the silver to do the exact same thing.
All right, so after a few hours of drying, this is how we are looking. Looks really, really good. I will link and of course show the brown that I was using. A little bit of extra filament flying around in there that we can yank out. But overall, it looks really good. I didn't worry about painting the inside because again, that's going to be covered up with this panel here, and the magnets is gonna go on there like so. The turrets or whatever, the blasters are actually downstairs. They're finished drying. I had to do a little bit more paint on them, but this is how we're looking so far. So what I think I'm actually going to do now is just take a black marker and run it through all the lines here to just try to give it a bit of accent. And we're gonna go ahead and remove the white tape and show you how everything looks. So after removing the tape and adding in our lines with just simply a black, permanent marker, this is how we are looking, guys. I think it looks really, really good overall. Again, I'm not worried about the front because that's going to be on my back, but I may spray paint it to, get rid of the brown that's here from the actual airbrushing, not airbrushing, from the rattle cans, the spray paint. But overall, I think it looks really, really good. All that's left to do is add on the magnets that hold the top piece in place here. And then of course, glue down the actual cannons, which should be dry by now. I'll run out to the garage and grab them. And then I can show you guys how it actually attaches to your back. There's 2 holes right here on each side. You just run a strap through and essentially run your arms through it, and that's how it all fits together. So let me just run downstairs to grab the cannons, glue those on, and we'll worry about putting the magnets in place later because that glue takes probably about 24 hours to dry. So we're just gonna run downstairs, grab the cannons, and I'll be right back. All right, so to glue these in place, we're just using our E6000. They have a slot right here on the back that we can just jam a whole bunch of glue into. Actually, not a ton, just a decent amount, because this glue works very, very well. I use E6000 for pretty much everything when it comes to 3D printing. Sometimes with a hint of, what's it called, JB Weld if I really, really need things to stick, or just super glue if I want it to be fast. And as you can see here, there's a little nodule on the back of the backpack, and the cannons, the turrets, whatever you want to call them, simply slide right onto them. And if I can get it to go, actually I think this one goes on this side because they are side specific. All right, so it's actually going to take a little bit more glue than I thought it was because it did slide off a little, too easy. So I want it to stay in place more as it's drying. So I'm just putting more glue around the sides here. There we go. And as I said, they are side specific. So it's easier to get them in one side than it is to get them in on the other. That's how you know essentially you're on the right side. But boom, it fits on just like that. And we're gonna do the other side. Kind of hard to balance these, but I think there's enough glue in that one. Actually, we'll just put a little bit more inside of here. There we go. And we will now get this one to slide into place. Like so. And boom, there you have it. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. That is how we look. So I'm gonna let that dry for just a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and show you how it goes on the back. Actually, while this is drying, I might as well just go ahead and put in the magnets, so I may do that real quick too. As for the magnets, they go in each of these little holes. We use 2 by 8 millimeter magnets, neodymium, I think that's how you say that, magnets, just putting them in each hole. And you want to make sure, obviously, that I'm only going to use the 4 corners. You can use, all of them if you want, but I'm only going to use the 4 corners. And make sure the magnets actually, attract to one another. So whatever one you put in here, put the opposite in this one, or they will repel each other, and the whole thing will be defeated. So just gonna do that real quick. So after all of our efforts, this is the final product. You can see here, we've got the 2 cannons in, and we've got our straps in, which go from the top. There's openings here to the bottom, there's opening. I may have to adjust the straps a little bit, but for now they're definitely working. You can see our cannons are glued in, not going anywhere. And then of course the best part, we can remove the hatch here and put items on the inside. And just to show you guys exactly how much space there is, you can fit 1, 2, and if I had more, multiple entire spray cans inside if you wanted to, and just cover it back up. I love this feature, the magnets, it's like the best thing ever. So yes, it was overall a success. Definitely one of the best items I've ever made. Loving this, probably going to be wearing it at my next convention. So this project was overall pretty fun. I definitely enjoyed making it. Definitely one of the easier things I've ever done, and you know, went from concept to creation fairly easy. The paints that I used for this were just the Chestnut Rust-Oleum, this one right here, and then I used Fusion Krylon Metallic Silver for the actual guns, and then of course the 8x2mm magnets, which hold on this little piece right here. I can't keep it, I really like that, just boop, snap it into place. I like that a lot. So I can't actually show you guys it fitting. Let's see. I'm gonna have to adjust the camera. Give me 1 second. I can show you it actually sitting on my back. So as you can see, this is how it looks when it actually sits on your back. It's very comfortable. I can move, tons of range of motion, no problems whatsoever. Nothing is coming loose, nothing is falling off. It works very, very well. You can see it from the front here. You can see the, you know, two blasters or whatever you want to call them sticking out to the side. Overall, just loving the way that it came out. So definitely successful project. If you like this, it will definitely be in my store. I will leave a link below. You can grab one for yourself. I will offer the painted and non-painted version. It's definitely a cool item to have if you're a Blastoise or a Pokemon fan. Anyways though, that's going to pretty much do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. Stay tuned because I have tons of projects I'm working on at the moment. Maybe a Kaiju number 8 weapon episode along with maybe some Chainsaw Man stuff. Stay tuned, lots more to come. Anyways, thank you all so much, and until next time, stay boundless. See you. Bye-bye.